Today I want to dye my hair this really dark color. It's actually kind of like my natural color, if you can kind of see, but I'm tired of my roots showing and the rest of my hair being like a copper red. So that's what I'm gonna do. As I dye my hair, I wanted to talk about the music that I've been listening to and kind of like my top tracks and albums for the end of the year. And I wrote a note. I wrote on my notes what I consider are, let it focus, well, what I consider are the best songs and tracks and albums that I have listened to in the past few months. And well, I've compiled them, so I'm gonna share them with you. First of all, let me set this up. We've got Permanent Color Cream, I don't know what this is, and then Caring Deep Conditioner, I suppose that's for the end. And then the Developer, and it gives you shampoo. I had never gotten shampoo in one of these boxes. So let's read the instructions. Mix your color 2 and 1. That's what we're gonna do. Oh, this is gonna start stinking up badly. I'm just gonna start saying the album and tracks and stuff. So the first one I added is Guitar Michael Lückner's 2002. Fuck, okay. Oh, I thought I had squirted something on myself. But okay. Guitar Michael Lückner's 2002 album titled Sunkissed. And it's this really dreamy album. It's filled with electronic music and sounds and just great things that I didn't really expect to enjoy. We're listening to the first track of this album, Sunkissed, while going to a farmer's market that's kind of outside my city. So it was a long drive, and picture me driving through these beautiful fields and valleys and just beautiful scenery. And then this song comes on and it fits the scene perfectly. So I naturally fell in love with that album. After Sunkissed, I listened to CCB and Me, and also the other variation of the song, which is CCB and Minimal Me, which excludes a majority of the melody and the sound, and it kind of focuses on the vocals, and I don't know, it makes it more impactful, right? But both versions of that song are just amazing, and again, it's dreamlike, it's truly wonderful. And I think if you enjoy electronic and kind of shoegaze, sea feel music, go for Guitar Michael Lückner's Sunkissed album. I've squeezed this thing into the developer and now I'm just shaking it, but in the same vein of dreamlike music, I included Locust's 1997 album Morning Light, and some of the top tracks in that album, in my opinion, with no specific order. Well, actually, I'm kind of lying because I do have kind of a specific order, since there are songs that I like more in this album. And one of those songs is Juke Box Heart. I really, really love that song. I adore it. And I would say that's my favorite in that album. But now, in no specific order, I listen to Folie and I Am the Murderer. But in general, the whole album is just a great experience. And it comes together so beautifully because of the type of music that it is. And it's again similar to Sunkissed in its electronic sea feel music. And I would say honorable mentions in that album include Your Selfish Ways. That one's a great one. I would actually just put it with the other songs. They aren't even honorable mentions, but it's Your Selfish Ways, Just Like You, One Way or Another, and No One in the World. But I made it a thing to fuck, you can't see, but to write down, listen to the whole album because it truly is great from start to finish. I've mixed this. Now, got to put on the gloves because I don't want to get myself all dirty. Talking about Morning Light by Locust. Juke Box Heart. Honestly, I'm not exaggerating. Please listen to that one. If you're planning to listen to any of these songs, choose to listen to Juke Box Heart because at least I adore it. And it hits right where it itches a spot in my brain that I had not itched with any other song ever in my life. So give it a listen. It's truly wonderful. I suppose I'm just gonna go for it, honestly. I need my comb. I bought these silver combs and they're really beautiful because they're metal. So I know they're gonna be longer lasting. And you know, they're really nice. Next, we have Everything But the Girl 1996 album, Walking Wounded. And this is one that I found out about fairly recently. And it's just so good. Especially the song Before Today. I love. So Before Today, listen to Before Today, but then also listen to Single and Good Cop, Bad Cop. I do think that Before Today is irreplaceable and unskippable in this situation. But the rest of the album is also pretty good. Everything But the Girl they just make such great music. I remember the first song I listened to from them was Mine. And I know that song and that track is particularly popular. I don't know if it's their most popular song, but I would dare to assume it is because that's how I found out about them. But then I also listened to Missing, and that song is amazing as well, and I was obsessed with it for a good while. And I once played it around my dad, and he told me that was just like a club song when he was in university, right? So I think that's really cool that I could connect with my dad through this song that I found out about on my own, you know, because it's interesting to find out that you've been listening to something that someone in your life already knew, and you're kind of in the same wavelength, but you don't know. In the realm of everything but the girl, bonus tracks, I said listen to Missing, which I just mentioned, from the 1994 album Amplified Heart. And then Mine, which I already mentioned as well, from the 1984 album Everything But the Girl. And then Night and Day, which is a completely different vibe, I feel, from the other songs I've mentioned. And that's from the 1982 extended play Night and Day. And what I like about Night and Day is that it is not as kind of electronic and house music as the other songs that I mentioned. It's definitely, well, acoustic song. So it kind of slows you down from the other music I've mentioned. Then another song from Everything But the Girl that I really enjoy is the song Temperamental from the 1992 album Temperamental. And that one takes you back to kind of like the house music, electronic realm, which I think is just a great thing they do. Like Everything But the Girl is truly like house music, electronic, and upbeat tracks at their core. So Temperamental will take you back to that, and I'm pretty sure you will enjoy it. I think we can move on to the next album / artist, and that's gonna be Robert Lester Folsom. And I've fallen madly in love with him because truly everything he does, every song I've listened to, I've liked. There's no album of his that I just dislike or am not into. The one I'm going to be talking about specifically is going to be Sunshine Only Sometimes, 1972 to 1975 archives. The top tracks from that, which to me, Sunshine Only Sometimes is the epitome of that archive, and it's also named after that, so naturally. And then Super C is another great song from those archives. I'm Still in Love with You as well. I would say that those songs take me back to particular instances of my year, of this year. And I always appreciate when a song can do that, because those memories will be cemented as something, right, in your memory. And they will also be holding on to maybe people that you associate to those songs. I would say Sunshine Only Sometimes is one of those songs for me. I literally look like a newborn spreading this gray, brownish fluid. I'm actually gonna rip my hair off. I'm also staining myself heavily, which is not good. Now, after kind of like naming albums and tracks from those albums, I'm gonna move on to just miscellaneous songs. I'm looking pretty fucking weird. Like, look at me right now. I look fucking insane. I'm going to let this sit for a little bit, and then I'll take a shower and I'll see you afterwards. It's been a couple hours since I dyed my hair, and I realized I completely forgot to finish off the last segment that I was going to do, which was just miscellaneous songs that I recommend. So I'm gonna do that now. I have my little list of songs, and I'm gonna start with Love Gun by Rick James. That's a completely different vibe from what I usually listen to, but it's a great song, and I would say it's a great shower song if you like to sing in the shower, or you know, just like an upbeat song. That's a great one. Then I also recommend Just Like Honey by the Jesus and Mary Chain. I discovered it from, I actually listened to a version from another artist. I don't remember which one exactly. I discovered this version by the Jesus and Mary Chain from the movie Lost in Translation, and it is just known, it's a known fact that that movie has one of the greatest soundtracks. So I naturally fell in love with this version. Then I also have Windmills by Beauty's Confusion, and that kind of reminds me of Everything But the Girl and another artist or artists called Mandalay. I'll get to that in a second, but Windmills is a really great song. Then I also recommend Juliet by Vanessa Dow. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but another great song. Then also Stuck on You by Michiko. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I discovered her just recently, and most of her songs are great. They are amazing, and it's also like house music, which I've been getting into a lot. So another great artist. Now I'm going back to Mandalay. I recommend the song No Reality, but also pretty much all of their music is amazing. I've been also listening to Not 17 or 17. I don't remember exactly the name of the song, but it has the word 17 in there. That song is amazing. Then I also recommend He Don't Ever Lose His Groove by Gwen McRae. And finally, She's Gone to Another by the Whatnots. And that's how I'm gonna end this video. I hope that you perhaps find a new favorite artist or a new favorite song. But that's all.